This video's topic is going to be on Milsurp handguns, basically. The reason I'm making the video is because during one of my live chats, a lot of guys were discussing current values of mil-surplus firearms. And and handguns are more common because most modern rifles are selective fire, okay? So you're going to see more surplus things in terms of older design handguns than you will older rifles, okay? So before we get started, if you would please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you could, become a member. Alright, because of YouTube's policy, I'm not going to tell you where these are available, but any of you guys in the know, look around, go to the different websites, and I'm going to go over some guns I'm seeing coming in that kind of dried up for a while, and now they're out there, and because the economy is stagnant, they are lowering the prices. Some of them up to, 100 units or a C-note from what they were originally asking them for when they came in. So you can find a deal, but also beware, because I am going to do another video. Some of these deals you may be getting, the bottom of the barrel. And a lot of people are complaining that condition and what they're receiving on some items, not all, can be a little off. So check the feedback and all that, whoever you're buying from, and look around. And that you don't really see many videos doing a negative thing, but if you go through the feedbacks on the websites, that's where you'll find it. Alright, so let's get started here. Okay, we'll start off with CZs. The CZ70, I don't have one. This is the older one, a CZ52 or whatever. Little 32 autos. The 70 is a modernized version of this. It's basically the same size, uses the same mags and all that other fun stuff. These have showed up in quantity. You can find them several places, and nowadays you used to get them with spare mags and all this, but you're going to be lucky to get one magazine with the gun, no holsters or whatever, and all that other fun stuff. Another popular CZ, while we're on CZs, the 83, okay? This gun here, was going 3.5, 350, 4 C-notes, 400 units, and they're kind of awash with them, and the prices kind of dropped. Actually, one company has them on sale for under 2, okay? But that's the one where you're finding that there's issues, there's a lot of wear, everything else. These were a popular gun, and back in the day they came with the holster, spare mag, everything else, and were like in mint condition. I believe those days are gone, but if this is something you wanted, one of these double stack mag 9mm Mac pistols, they're around. If you're into fixing guns up or, refinishing them, you might find a good deal there. Polish handguns. We're going to start with the P64. These dried up for a while, and they were kind of rugged to find. They trickle in here and there. This one I replaced the grips with custom wooden grips. I like a little bit better. They're a neat gun. They were going for 4, okay, 400 units, and I think you can get them for considerably less now. I don't know about condition. I haven't, researched it enough, but I remember I did a video on this a year or 2 ago, and it was kind of difficult to find anybody who had them in stock, and the price was substantial, okay, but it's another one. You might be able to find a deal on this, but again, beware, make sure the finish and that isn't that terrible. And one that I have not seen for years is the Polish P-83. Now this is the military, this is what the military carried for a period of time. It's a larger gun, and again in 9mm Makarov. These were neat. They were going for about $3.5 when I got this. I picked this up at a local Gander Mountain when they were available, and it came with a ratty holster. But these dried up and were not available for years. And I think there was a company out there that had a bunch of them, showed them in the case. These are back, but the price tag's still kind of with them at about $3.5. And you may see, if they don't sell and the economy gets worse, these may be coming down. Then we had the Yugo Model 70 32 Auto. These things came in and were fairly reasonable at one point in time. Then they kind of dried up, but you may find them. I don't know if anybody currently has them, but I think I've seen a few of these examples around. Now, how good or bad the condition would be is another thing. And they never really were super popular or went up that high in price. These things were available for a time at a fairly reasonable price. But I don't think you're going to get it with the spare mag and the holster like when they first came in. Then there is Bulgarian Makarov pistols. Now these things have been coming in for years. I guess the Bulgarians love these things and made all kinds of different versions of them. And probably the most common make of this pistol you find, they're all the same Russian design. But these are still floating around in various colors, and I had some that, you know, were variations in that, the Marine pistols or whatever. But yeah, you can find these. This is a good solid handgun, you know, and if you could pick it up, they were going for, I was at a local auction and one of these come up, and I figured if I can get it for about $3, I'd be happy, but it went way up over that at the time. That was quite a few years ago, about 5 years ago. But now, I don't know, if you ever wanted one of these, you may be able to pick one up at a pretty good price. Now here's a good example here, this Hungarian AP MBP pistol in 32 Auto. These came in, they've been in the country for a while. But again, another gun, Cold War issue gun in 32 Auto, PP style clone, you know, Walter design, which they all kind of copied. And I got this one, there was a flash sale, and they, I guess whatever the original list price was, they knocked the C note off. And I got it for what I feel is a reasonable price. The condition was nice. I was lucky I got a nice gun in nice shape. And for what I picked it up for, I really can't say I got hurt on it. I mean, you know, it was low enough in the price and the condition's nice enough that it was a good deal. So you got these floating around at several places. It's something to look for. Another one that's a little different is this Spanish Star M30 pistol. These came in, like when I bought these when they first come in, usually when these Stars come in, these older ones, especially these more, the later versions, the 30s, the 29s, when they come in, they used to sell out fast. And they weren't that inexpensive either. They're $3.5 to $4, you know, you get nice ones. These came in, several places have them. You can now find them on sale. I guess they did not move that quick, for under 300 units, you know, 2 something. So that's a considerable discount. It's, you know, I I paid for, you know, better, I guess, condition or grade. The magazine is matching. I paid about $3.50 for this, something, or maybe even a little more when they first come out. But now you can pick up one of these guns, and again, check the feedback, see what people are getting and what kind of condition. But you can get these, you know, for a fairly good discounted price. Then, of course, our Beretta, I believe this is an 84. They're still hanging in there. And this is the double stack one, or 13 rounder. I had the single stack, the older one. I think that's the 85. And the thing with these is they're, you know, government issue guns. They're coming in. And these things here, the 13 rounders would sell out whenever they, I mean, they'd sell out in 48 hours. And the reason I got the single stack one was because it didn't sell out that quick. And I picked up one of those, and then these came in this last grouping. I got this, and when I bought it, you know, a lot of people were saying that there were problems with these guns. I can't remember quite what I paid for it. Over, I know it was well over 300 units. And this came, maybe it was, it had some rust that kind of ate into the bluing, little spots on it. It was kind of dirty, but all in all, it was in good condition. People have gotten things with cracked grips, heavier rust than what I have on here. There's a couple blemishes. If you find a video on it, I point them out. Wasn't nothing too serious, but, you know, it's another one. People have ordered these from different online outlets, and they were told that they were good, very good condition, and they kind of complained that what they received, they did not believe that the condition or the grading was correct. But these things are going now for under $2 or $2. You catch a sale. So expect that there'll probably be issues with it in terms of the finish, cracked grips or something. If, you know, a gun that they were selling for close to $4, they're selling at half price. You know, you may get lucky. There's some guys that say they got lucky and some guys that say they didn't. But the Beretta guns are another one. You know, and these are nice quality handguns. And another old military favorite, the Tokarevs are around. I'm seeing these things pop up from different makers and stuff. This is an old Romanian one I got fairly reasonable. Okay, and this thing was imported years ago. And this is the standard one with the smaller magazine capacity. And a lot of these guns had these hideous safeties put on there, either in a slide or like this one here, in the frame. And also be aware that if you make a video on how to remove them, YouTube does not like that at all. And another variation, the M57s, the Yugo ones, these are floating around also. I've seen a couple these come up for sale. And the thing is, with the Tokarevs, they have come up with different safety features. If you notice, this one doesn't have, it has this little thumb safety here. And some of the pistols will have a trigger with a Glock style trigger safety. They changed the trigger out and put some sort of a safety mechanism in there, and that gets them past the import restriction. And this is the one that has a few extra rounds. It's got a little bit longer magazine and that on there. And this one's got the Yugo crest. You can get them with or without. And they're a nice gun. The only downside to these is the ammunition is hard to find and expensive. And I think that's also a reason you'll see that the sales of some of these guns are down. Is, you know, somebody told me they were paying over $1 a round for the ammo for this pistol. It's 7.62 by 25. But if you want to get one in your collection, you know, you can find one at a discounted price or a good deal. And they've had the Yugos. I'm seeing a lot of Chinese ones come in and different makes from the countries. I don't know about the Romanian ones like this one here or anything like that, but I know the Yugos are still coming in, and some of them that have been made in China, they're popping up here and there on the surplus market. And that's going to do it for my review or my opinion on the deals out there right now in early 2026. Alright, thank you and stay tuned.